throughout the old planet, an incredible power would make even the planets that were nearby fall. That's right, a baby Saiyan was born with an exorbitant power. So much was his power that this time, all the tracers had exploded when trying to measure his power. But something strange was that this Saiyan seemed to have been born in the form of an Osaru. However, in the same way, he retained several human features, which surprised the doctors who observed such a phenomenon. Even his father, Bardock, who was a low-class Saiyan, was very surprised at all the power that his son was releasing. How is this possible, if Jin and I are low-class warriors? But I have no doubt that he is my son, since his face is identical to mine. All these rumors would even reach King Vegeta, who was furious to learn that a new Saiyan had been able to surpass the power of his little son, giving the order to eradicate that little warrior. Several soldiers in charge of King Vegeta came to end the life of the baby, which, despite not having an incredible power, would not be able to defend itself by having only a few days of birth. But on their way, they found their father, Bardock. I knew that the idiot of King Vegeta would try to end the life of my dear son, since he cannot stand that a baby has even surpassed his power. The soldiers sent, without mediating a word, had thrown themselves against Bardock, suspicious since Bardock, despite being a warrior, was considered low class. Energy spheres would be thrown, causing great chaos everywhere. But Bardock, with all his experience, was able to end the life of each of the soldiers who tried to end the life of his dear son. However, he had not been immune to being several soldiers. That has been somewhat complex, but I even plan to give my life so that Kakarott's fate is different. A hush settled for a heartbeat as they gathered themselves. I trust that he will end the damn Frieza. However, a much more powerful warrior than the rest would face Bardock, who had even left him surprised because he was one of the trusted soldiers of the powerful Frieza. What the hell? Why the hell do you attack me? We have fulfilled each of the orders of the great Frieza. You must know it. We cannot risk the legendary Super Saiyan being born, and we know that a child has been born with the power that even surpasses the elite warriors. But do not feel bad, since in the same way, the great Frieza would end you. Bardock, when trying to do something, would be useless to him, since at the moment, the elite warrior was able to throw a powerful energy attack from his mouth with which he was able to almost end Bardock's life. Appearance has not served me to warm up. It will be better for him to return with the great Frieza, since soon they will begin with the artificial fires of the old planet. The warrior would leave quickly. However, Bardock, among the bodies of the other warriors, was able to stand up, but his whole body was in terrible condition. Even his power had fallen to the lowest, expelling large amounts of blood because that attack is almost capable of ending his life. My body hurts too much. I feel like I'm about to die. But I'm not going to let Kakarott's fate be cut short. He cannot defend himself yet. Bardock, with his ship, would quickly reach the recovery capsules, in which after only 5 hours he was able to fully recover, dressing up quickly, going to where his wife, Jean, was. Bardock, I'm glad you're here. Kakarott's power has been so much that he has been considered the most powerful warrior on the entire old planet, but his appearance is rare. No, Jean, there is no time for any of this. You have to change Kakarott quickly. Tonight we will send him to planet Earth. What did you say? I can't believe you're serious. I know you're a warrior Saiyan, but little Kakarott is just a baby. He won't be able to defend himself. Believe me, Jean, that on planet Earth he will have more chances of fleeing. You and I will be the bait, since if the damn Frieza finds out that we are not on the planet, he will end us. Bardock, please calm down. What the hell are you talking about? Gene, I was not able to return the day of yesterday, since the damn King Vegeta sent soldiers to kill Kakarot, but I was able to defeat them. But Kakarot's power has even reached Frieza's ears, and I was not able to do anything against his warrior. Jean was surprised by everything Bardock had said, but she would be taken aback by his thoughts. So, Jean, I just ask you to trust me. We have to send Kakarot to planet Earth, since in that place there are no powerful warriors, although his power is incredible. For a moment, only the distant echoes remained. I hope you're wrong, Bardock, but if you're sure, let's do it. When night came, Bardock and Jean had encapsulated Kakarot in a ship heading to planet Earth, in which his parents watched their little son for the last time. You have to survive, Kakarot. I trust you. I know you will become the most powerful Saiyan of all time. We promise to go and find you soon, dear son. So survive. You have in your body the most powerful blood of all this solar system. You are a powerful elite Saiyan. The ship had left the old planet heading at an incredible speed towards planet Earth, which at the moment of colliding with the planet would reach a rocky area of the planet, in which, at the moment, an old man was passing through the place, realizing a great light. What is that great light? It is supposed that there is absolutely nothing in these places. The grandfather named Gohan would approach that great light, being surprised to realize that it was a simple baby. But when he got much more closer, he was surprised since he would realize that it was not an ordinary baby, since it had fur all over his body. Grandfather Gohan would take a few steps to leave, but he would return since he was not able to leave an abandoned baby. So Grandfather Gohan would take him home to raise him completely. However, Kakarot's behavior was very explosive because the instinct of the Saiyans ran through his entire body, which was to destroy everything in his path. One day, when both were in a great precipice, Kakarot would fall through the abyss, having a great blow to the head, which would make his behavior change completely. He wanted to continue training and become more powerful, but his thirst for destruction had ceased completely. Now that I remember, I have not given you a name. I hope you excuse this poor old man, but I will call you Goku. The days passed until on a full moon, Goku would observe her completely. Something very unusual happening. That's right, since despite Goku being in Super Saiyan Phase 4, Goku was able to access an Osaru, but this time it was a golden one. While his power was incredible, he would begin to destroy everything around him. Grandfather Gohan, not knowing what Goku was about, would try to stop him with his best techniques, but Goku, having control of that transformation, would not be able to do absolutely anything, ending his grandfather's life. Thus the night and the days had elapsed, in which Goku on this occasion would become much more powerful, and would be able to defeat each of his enemies with great ease, since his power was incredible. For his part, in the ship of the evil emperor, Frieza was very thoughtful. I feel that something is wrong, but I have nothing to worry about. I have been able to end the life of that pathetic baby who was born with great power. My lord, is there something that bothers you? If that is the case, let me tell you that you have me for absolutely everything, my lord. You have nothing to worry about. I appreciate it, soldier, but I'm just thinking, so don't worry. Returning to planet Earth, a few years had already passed in which Goku was able to make good friends and even have a son, calling him in the same way Gohan as his grandfather. Everyone paused, feeling the aftermath press upon them. However, throughout the planet Earth, in the same way a Saiyan ship had arrived, in search of Kakarot. That's right, it was his older brother, Raditz.
But what the hell is this supposed to be? How has it been possible that the useless Kakarot has not destroyed this planet? In this case, I plan to finish him. Raditz, with the help of his tracker, was able to locate the most powerful warrior on the entire planet Earth. And Goku not being able to hide his power completely would be perceived by Raditz, which would quickly reach Kame House, which was the place where he was. Goku, realizing that the warrior he had in front of him even surpassed Piccolo's power, would watch him closely, but would not put himself on guard, since for Goku, he was just another insect. I don't know who the hell you are, but it will be better for you to leave here if you don't want to die. Don't say stupid things. Even if you don't remember, I'm your older brother, so I'm much more powerful than you. You are one more insect if I compare you to my true power, so leave. If you disobey your older brother, I will have to teach you good manners, and for that, I will take your son, who I am able to see that the blood of Saiyan runs through his veins. Raditz would move at great speed, but for Goku it was absolutely nothing, since at that precise moment, Goku was able to hold him tightly by the neck, making him fall. But before causing much more destruction in Kame House, this with great speed would take him to an inhospitable place, in which he would instantly throw him into a few mountains, creating great destruction all around him. Now, yes, there is no one here, so tell me what the hell you want. Were my mom's words true? You were born with the power that even an elite warrior like Neela had? But Raditz, without letting himself be defeated so easily, had thrown himself at Goku. However, the exchange of blows lasted only 40 seconds, in which Raditz was unable to do anything against Goku, while Raditz had bruises all over his body. Due to the fact that the blows that Goku had connected to him were of overwhelming power. So Goku, with a slight blow to his stomach, was able to make him fall, creating a great explosion, leaving Raditz on the verge of death. Damn it! Apparently I have gone too far with that blow. I do not want him to die. Goku, at the moment, would approach Raditz, stretching one of his hands, beginning to transmit a little of his energy so that he is not in danger of death. At this moment, I want you to explain to me the reason why you have come to planet Earth. What do you want? Okay, I'm really not able to do anything against you, so I'll tell you everything. Raditz would tell everything that had happened since the explosion of the old planet, how even his parents had sacrificed themselves for Kakarot to be able to reach planet Earth, while Bardock, his father, had total confidence that Kakarot would be able to defeat the Emperor of the Frieza universe, which was the cause of the destruction of the old planet. I understand. From what you are giving me to understand, do you want me to join you so that we are able to defeat that damn Frieza? Indeed. And if you really have the power to surpass the elite Saiyan Saiyans, we are sure that with you, our possibility of victory increases greatly. I will help you, but I want you to know something. I plan to fight only against that damn thing. Since I have arrived on this planet, no warrior has been able to give me a good battle. But against Frieza, that will be impossible for you. The conversation of both would be interrupted by the Prince of the Saiyans. Raditz, if you were able to convince your brother, go to planet Namek, since the damn Frieza has been able to discover what spheres of that place are capable of granting him immortality. My Saiyan blood does not boil with emotion. If you do not accept my condition, in the same way, I will go on my own to planet Namek, since I have heard everything. Silence stretched thin, broken only by the whisper of falling dust. Okay, I accept your condition. Now let's leave this place. We have to go quickly. Raditz was able to take out one more of the spaceships, So for the moment, Goku said goodbye to each of his friends, heading to planet Namek, in which he would meet for the first time the cause of the extinction of his race. For his part, the Emperor of Evil had already been able to reach planet Namek, and with the help of his soldiers, he was able to get 2 of the 7 dragon spheres, but hundreds of inhabitants of the planet had died. This damn feeling continues, even though years have passed, so I have to deal with immortality, and I will be able to even destroy the damn devil. For his part, Goku and Raditz were also heading at great speed towards planet Namek, as both Saiyans, Vegeta and Nappa. 7 days quickly passed in which Goku and Raditz were able to reach planet Namek. But the moment they arrived, they realized that Prince Vegeta was in terrible condition and on the verge of death, since Frieza had requested the presence of his most powerful warriors. These warriors were the elite of the Emperor of Evil Frieza. No, damn it! We will not be able to do anything if even the elite of Frieza is there. These subjects should not even be called warriors, since they are extremely weak. Goku, by raising his power a little, was able to almost destroy planet Namek, while everything around him began to crack, just like all the tracers on the planet were completely destroyed because that power was gigantic. Goku had been able to make the entire planet Namek tremble because his power seemed to have no limit. Frieza's gaze would change completely because the pressure he felt was incredible. Since Frieza was not able to feel the power of his enemy, but not the incredible pressure that spread throughout the planet. No, no, no! Who is this incredible power? The Emperor of Evil had panicked when he felt all that incredible power. For his part, Goku was able to reach the warriors who were almost able to end Vegeta's life. Goku, when observing, was able to throw one of his seeds, which were able to recover all of the vitality of the user.
And being Vegeta a Saiyan, he was able to achieve an incredible increase in power, being equally surprised to find out about the appearance that the Saiyan had. So this is the Saiyan everyone is talking about. I can't believe it. He really has incredible power. Although I am not able to feel it, my body trembles. Goku began to walk towards the enemies, which were 4 warriors, and these belonged to the Frieza elite, which without caring about anything began to make fun of him. But of all of them, his captain was able to take a step forward. "You have no right to make fun of me. I'm sure this warrior is even capable of giving me my battle, so you won't be able to do anything against him. Don't overestimate yourself, since your power is absolutely nothing against my true power. Even that guy named Frieza doesn't have a power that amazes me." Damn! How dare you talk like that about the powerful Frieza? He's the emperor of the entire universe. There is no warrior more powerful than him. Goku, having much more power, had mobilized at an incredible speed against Ginyu, being able to end his life with a slight blow to his chest. That's right, the most powerful warrior had fallen before Goku with a single blow. So the trio of warriors would try to flee. Ha ha ha! Do you think they can flee? Planetary attraction! An incredible force of gravity would begin to drag all the warriors to where Goku was, and being a few centimeters away, the warriors tried to attack in vain, since at the moment Goku, by expelling his aura in the form of fire, was able to completely evaporate them, leaving absolutely nothing. They inhaled together, bracing for what would come next. Raditz, were these weaklings really the elite of that guy named Frieza? Of course, Kakarot. You have left me surprised. I did not think you would be able to finish them all at once. How great is your power! But as Goku approached, he had quickly noticed how a ray of energy was heading towards Raditz and Vegeta, So Goku, with a fist of wind, was able to send them flying, which would cause Vegeta's fury. I know you are much more powerful than me, but I have no intention of letting you disrespect me. I am the Prince of the Saiyans, damn worm. But he was surprised to find out that Frieza was in front of them. That's right, this time Frieza had even exceeded to his final form, with which his power was surprising for the Saiyans who were there. However, it was not surprising for Goku. So you are the Saiyan who was able to be born with a power that even surpassed the entire elite of Saiyan warriors? I will give you an offer. Join my army and become the absolute commander. It is a shame that I do not like to receive orders from anyone. I have only come to this planet to be able to realize that you are able to make me use all my power. In that case, I intend to end your damned existence. You will not leave this place alive. I will use all my power. Frieza swung against Goku, who, with the intention of testing the power of his enemy, would let himself be completely hit. That's right, all the fists, attacks, and kicks of Frieza were able to connect throughout Goku's body. Damn it, not even the legendary Super Saiyan is able to face that bastard. But Kakarot has been blamed, since he allowed him to access his maximum power. Vegeta, it will be better if we help Kakarot, since if we don't do it, after him we will continue. But before both Saiyans interfered, Goku would fall to the ground when an incredible destruction throughout the battlefield. Even lava came out of various volcanoes. You deserve to underestimate the evil Emperor Frieza. At the moment, both ships had reached the planet Namek, so King Cold and Cowler would come out posing on one side of Frieza. I can see that damn garbage has been able to force you to use 100% of all your power. But you have the body cut into pieces, Frieza. Did you trust yourself? Ha ha ha. Father, that is more than evident, since his opponents are pathetic Saiyans. They don't have the necessary power to defeat us. And if they were able to leave Frieza in those conditions, it was because he trusted himself. At that moment, a great aura would rise throughout the battlefield, which left Frieza surprised, since he had hit him with all of his power. Goku spit at some blood, watching the new warriors who had arrived. Frieza, if that is the maximum of your power, you have disappointed me, since I thought you would be able to hit much harder. You are good for nothing.
Damn worm, I will not allow you to continue making fun of me. You are nothing compared to me. Even your planet was destroyed by me. Goku would hold Frieza's fist with one of his hands while watching him closely. Frieza, you are nothing. You against me? So I will give an advantage to all of you. Fight the three against me. Frieza, before being able to say anything, would spit blood to Goku insert his fist in his stomach, which made him spit large amounts of blood. Next, both warriors would intervene in the battlefield, swinging against Goku. Both Saiyans, in the same way, also wanted to intervene in the battle. However, they knew that they did not have the required power to face any of the two warriors. But they were surprised when they realized that Goku was able to face the three warriors without any difficulty. That's right, Goku, with a great expulsion of his power, was able to send them to fly to the mountains, destroying everything around him. So, at the moment Frieza and his father launched against Goku, while for his part, Cooler would begin to access his maximum power. That's right, Cooler was much more powerful than his brother, so he still had one more transformation. His power began to grow in an incredible way, while his power seemed to provide a great armor, as well as his musculature would increase. You are the first warrior who forces me to use my fifth form. I hope you are prepared to die, since you will not be able to withstand one of my blows. Cooler had swung at an incredible speed against Goku. At the moment Frieza and King Cold stood aside,
so Cooler was able to connect his incredible blow to Goku's face. But to everyone's surprise, Cooler's incredible blow was not even able to move Goku's head. So Goku, with a smile, expelled a little of his power, causing incredible damage to Cooler. For a moment, only the distant echoes remained. It's time for me to move my muscles a little too. Planetary Devastator. A great attack would rise in the air, so hundreds of rays surrounded Cooler, causing him incredible damage, which made him fall to the ground, to the brink of death, unable to move a single of his joints. King Cold, seeing this, would go to his last transformation. While Frieza would try to attack him, Goku would stretch one of his hands. "Don't rush. I'll give your father time to transform, and for both of them to attack me, so don't waste your energy." Furious Frieza, swallowing his pride, was unable to do anything. Just wait for his father to be able to access 100% of all his power. After a few minutes, a great explosion would be generated all over the place, observing King Cold in his maximum power. It's time to put an end to this battle. Cooler, I know you are badly wounded, but it will be better if you try to fight, since if you are not able to defeat him, all of us will die today, so make your last effort. Cooler, with his maximum effort, was able to stand up, with which the three warriors began to attack Goku. However, everything was in vain, since despite having the numerical advantage, Son Goku's power was of another level. So Goku was only in charge of dodging each of his blows. So Goku would instantly observe them with a smile. "I have given you the required time to be able to hurt me. Now it's my turn to attack, so get ready. I will eradicate you." Goku, with his great speed, was able to cross the chest of King Code, being able to even take out his heart, so he would fall to the ground, lifeless. Everyone paused, feeling the aftermath press upon them. Furious Frieza, in the same way, bounced against Goku. However, Goku, holding tightly his head, was able to tear his head, causing Frieza's body to fall to the ground. Goku would stare at Cooler as he began to approach him. What did I just see? I was able to end the family of the evil in a matter of seconds? I cannot believe the power of the legendary Super Saiyan. Please, I implore you, forgive my life. I promise you will never see my face again. That's too late. I cannot leave you alive, since you would continue to enslave many more races. So I plan to end the root problem. Goku would stretch one of his hands, and with a powerful attack, was able to completely polder Cooler. As soon as the evil family was eradicated, several inhabitants left their hiding places, approaching Goku. "Sir, we thank you for being able to protect our planet. If you have any wishes, the Dragon Balls are at your disposal." "Haha, you have nothing to thank me. I have done the right thing. And for the sake of desire, I want all the victims at the hands of Frieza's army to be revived." "No, damn insect. Let me ask for eternal life." "You do not need it. You have incredible power." Silence stretched thin, broken only by the whisper of falling dust. "But I long for immortality." Goku would observe him with a very serious look, which made Vegeta terrified. "I do not know where you will go, Vegeta, or if you want to come with my brother and me to planet Earth. I will go with you, since it will be the only way I will be able to become much more powerful." The three Saiyan warriors had headed for planet Earth. However, a much more powerful warrior was watching Son Goku. Like on planet Earth, an incredible, extremely powerful warrior would make Goku know defeat. Upon arriving on planet Earth, the trio of Saiyans had separated to continue with their great training.
For his part, the Prince of the Saiyans was able to meet Bulma, and this, being a great scientist, was able to create gravity capsules in which the great Vegeta was able to train to become much more powerful. I am the Prince of the Saiyans. I cannot allow another Saiyan to be much more powerful than me. For his part, Goku and Raditz were both training in the mountains, because this time, Goku wanted the power of his brother to rise in a great way. However, in one of his training days, a gigantic power would be felt all over planet Earth, a power that even this time was able to make Saiyan Goku nervous. Who is all this incredible power? I can't believe it. The power that is releasing is amazing. I feel like my whole body is crushed by that incredible power. Who is? But a very peculiar warrior would stand in front of Goku. That's right, the speed with which he had arrived had left him very surprised, since Goku was not even able to notice. Who are you? I can see that you are a very powerful warrior. It is not yet time for you to know my identity, but I want to test the great power that is said to be possessed by the incredible Goku. The mysterious warrior swung against Goku, who exchanged multiple blows all over the place. However, it would be very difficult for Goku to follow him. His battle would not last more than 2 minutes, so at the moment both would take a little distance, while in the face of the warrior a big smile would be drawn. With you, I would really be able to use the Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan? What the hell is that? At the time, Goku's hair would turn golden, while the entire planet Earth began to shudder due to all the incredible power that was released.
Even Goku would be very surprised by all the incredible power that the warrior unleashed. However, without Goku being able to see anything, the warrior was able to connect a powerful blow to Goku's stomach, which on this occasion had caused him incredible damage, although too much blood came out of Goku's body. Ouch! What the hell is that transformation? The blow that has been able to connect me has caused me incredible damage, but I cannot give up so easily. Goku would stand up while his power began to increase in an incredible way. That's right, Goku was taking the power of his body to the limit, while the mysterious warrior was staring at him. The rumors are true. He really is very powerful, and if I am able to warn him of everything that will happen, I know he will be able to do something, but I have to see the limit of his power. At the moment of a great extortion of his energy, Goku had been able to access his maximum power, with which even his eyes could see a bright red, as well as his gaze had completely changed. You are a very powerful warrior, with whom I have not thought of hiding any of my true power, so I hope you are prepared. Goku moved at great speed, however, this time he was able to scratch Trunks' cheek, but at the moment his battle would be much more destructive. This time, all the Z-Warriors had come to the place to know what was happening, being surprised by the great battle that both warriors were releasing. Raditz, what the hell has happened? Is it a new enemy? I don't know, Vegeta, but the power he is able to release is incredible. But instantly, Vegeta's face would draw a smile while his power would begin to increase in an incredible way. That's right, this time Goku and Trunks had stopped their battle, realizing that in the same way a great power would be felt all over the place, being all surprised to realize that Vegeta had accessed the same transformation that the warrior who was fighting Goku. Wow! Prince Vegeta has been able to acquire the same transformation that I am subject to. Trunks would return to his base state, beginning to explain that he came from the future, but hiding his identity so that the timeline does not look so affected. That's right, this time the warriors were 2 years old, before facing extremely powerful warriors, which all the Z-Warriors would fall before their powers. I hope to be able to return in 2 years to be able to help in this battle. Trunks would leave the place while all the warriors were very surprised.
However, the best known was Goku, since his power was surpassed. Although it was not for long, the power of that warrior had been able to almost defeat him. Vegeta, I want to have a friendly fight with you. I want to test the new power that you have been able to obtain. This time I will be able to beat you. Damn worm! The gaze of both would cross, so at the moment both began to exchange blows. However, the difference in powers was overwhelming, since Goku was able to sweep the ground with Vegeta's body. That's right, even though Vegeta had been able to access the Super Saiyan, he was not able to compare himself with Goku's power, which at the moment with a great energy attack was able to leave him out of combat. I have to use the Dragon Balls. Really, their transformations were similar. But why was Vegeta's power hundreds of times less? All the warriors would spread to continue with their training, but much more Vegeta, since he could not stand that despite taking his body to the limit, he was not able to defeat Kakarot. Meanwhile, Goku, with the help of Raditz, would begin to gather all the Dragon Balls. After a few hours, they had been able to gather all the Dragon Balls. Brother, a question. Why do you need the Dragon Balls? I need to know what is this state that I possess, and why, if Vegeta's transformation was similar to that of that warrior, he was not able to face me. I have many doubts. Goku would invoke the powerful Asheron, so instantly the whole sky would darken, realizing that they had invoked Asheron. You have gathered me the 7 Dragon Balls. Tell me, what is your wish? I can fulfill 3 of them. What is this state with which I was born? How can I have answers, and how can I become more powerful? Am I the legendary Super Saiyan? Instantly, the other warriors would arrive at the place realizing that Goku and Raditz had invoked Asheron. First of all, you are not the legendary Super Saiyan, since the legendary Super Saiyan lives on a planet far away from this place, and its power is unlimited. And secondly, the state with which you were blessed is the Phase 4 Super Saiyan. You are only able to pass the other transformations. And lastly, you can become more powerful if you continue with your training. Although, of course, increasing your power in that state will be much more complicated, since the Phase 4 Super Saiyan is your base state. Everyone was surprised to learn that Goku was not the legendary Super Saiyan. He had only been born with the Phase 4 Super Saiyan. That means that I possess the Phase 4 Super Saiyan, and if Goku has been able to be born with that transformation, I am able to access a similar state. Vegeta would leave quickly to continue with his great training. Meanwhile, Goku would be very thoughtful. In that case, I have to train much more, since if my power is stagnant, I will not be able to exceed my limits. I will train on my own from now on, Raditz. I understand, brother. In that case, I will go to train with Gohan and Piccolo. Goku would go to the sacred temple. That's right, Goku had planned to enter the Room of Time, in which at the moment of arrival he would expel the maximum of his power, with which even the same dimension would change noticeably. I have no intention of falling behind. I know that I possess the necessary capacity to be able to exceed my limits once again. Goku would start with his great training, which this time was to try to access a new transformation, so he would begin to concentrate all his energy while he raises his power. However, it was very complicated for him. He was only able to make his muscles grow in a great way. I have an idea. The Saiyans are able to transform into Ozarus, but what will happen if I transform? Goku, with a small sphere in one of his hands, was able to create a small artificial moon, with which at the moment of transforming his fur would change to a golden color, but this would begin to destroy everything around him, not being able to control all that power. That's right, months had passed in the Room of Time, in which all this time Goku was able to completely dominate his state.
It's time. I'm already able to keep my mind completely, so there is no problem. Goku had acceded to the state of Osaru, with which at the moment of not having completely lost his mind, his fur and his golden body began to shrink, which would leave Goku very surprised, since this had not happened before, while an amazing power was released everywhere. At the moment of an incredible scream by Goku,
This would create a great explosion, as can be seen in a Goku with a similar appearance, but this time the color of all his fur was a golden color, while his power was able to disintegrate any warrior that is not on the same scale as his power. Wow, the power that I have been able to obtain is incredible, but I have to be able to completely dominate it, since otherwise I will even hurt my friends. Goku would begin to dominate his new power. That's right, Goku in his base state, which was the Super Saiyan 4, was able to access the Super Saiyan. For that reason, the fur was golden. For his part, in a very remote place, a scientist known as Dr. Hero was able to create two powerful androids, which possessed the cells of all the warriors, even the Goku Phase 4. However, these androids, despite being very powerful warriors, were only part of the real danger. That's right, a warrior named Cell, who possessed in his body the cells of all the most powerful warriors in the universe, was forming. With all the cells of these warriors, Cell's power will be incredible. Nothing or no one will be able to stop him, not even those annoying Saiyans. Returning to the Room of Time, Goku had been able to completely dominate his power, so Goku would leave the room while his power was able to alert all the Z-Warriors. However, a spy robot was able to steal a tiny hair from Son Goku's new state, making the computer that was incubating the powerful Cell able to deal with that incredible power. That's right, this time, with that little sample of energy, Cell was able to develop completely, being able to generate a great explosion everywhere, while his power would also attract the attention of all the warriors, realizing that 2 years had already passed quickly. I had completely forgotten. 2 years have passed, so those supposed androids will appear on an island in the west, destroying everything around them. But there is no destroyed island, or maybe everything that subject said was pure nonsense. For his part, Dr. Gero was surprised to realize how his maximum creation had been able to evolve rapidly with the help of that last sample. Cell, absorb the androids so that you are able to reach your perfect form. As you order, although I appreciate that you have been able to create me, I do not like to be given orders. You are weaker than me. Cell, with a ray of energy, was able to end the life of his creator. While the androids approached, and without allowing them any movement, he was able to absorb them completely. This time, the power that was released was amazing, so much so that it even overshadowed Goku's power. Apparently, what that warrior said turned out to be true. It will be better to go where all that incredible power is released. Meanwhile, in a very distant place, in the same way, a warrior just as powerful as Cell, or much more, was watching everything. That mate keeps making you much more powerful, since very soon I will end your very existence, Son Goku, and you will be part of all my power. Returning to planet Earth, the warriors were able to get in front of Cell, being surprised by the power that this new enemy released. However, confident Vegeta would take a step forward. I will show you that this warrior is a simple joke on my side. Vegeta would access Super Saiyan 2, while Cell would watch him with a big smile. You do not have the power to face me, Vegeta, so it will be better for you to leave, damn worm. Vegeta furious would swing against Cell. However, his blows were not able to cause any damage to Cell, which of a few blows was able to leave the Prince of the Saiyans on the ground with a few wounds. I want to fight against Son Goku, since I have been created to end his life. Goku, at the moment of taking a step, would realize that Vegeta would stand up again. I have not yet been defeated. Now I will show you the fruit that my training has had, so I hope you are ready to observe the power of the great Vegeta. Vegeta at the moment would begin to expel a large amount of energy, which left everyone surprised. That's right, Vegeta had been able to achieve 3 new transformations, and this time, he would use one of his most powerful transformations, the incredible Super Saiyan 3. Vegeta's incredible power had been enough to bring the entire planet to the ground, since the Prince of the Saiyans had been able to break each of his limits, and despite this, he still hid one more transformation. What do you think of my new power? With this power, you will not be able to do anything against me, since you are simply a damned experiment. You pity me so much, Vegeta.
since even if you have had that incredible increase in power, you will not be able to do anything to save your life. Cell's look showed great confidence. At the moment, both launched to start the great battle. This time, their fists were powerful enough to cause havoc throughout the universe. That's right. The power that both subjects possessed was even capable of causing destruction on nearby planets. However, Goku was able to observe the battle closely. If that is Vegeta's maximum power, he will lose immediately, since his opponent is only cornering him with his incredible defense. No, but my father has incredible power. It seems that he is even able to defeat Cell, since he is not able to counterattack. No, Trunks. Observe well. If you can notice, no matter how much Vegeta attacks, Cell is able to block each blow. While Vegeta attacks more, his energy begins to decrease, unlike Cell's power, which has not decreased in the slightest. The battle was so intense that only Goku was able to observe what was really happening. Those wreckage were even able to attract the attention of an angel that was far away from the entire planet Earth. That's right, this was Whis, who thanks to his binoculars was able to observe the entire incredible battle. Wow, the Saiyans of the old planet have evolved in an incredible way, since the power they are able to release is incredible. I even dare to say that they would be excellent toys for Mr. Beerus in the future. Returning to the battlefield, Cell would instantly expel a little more of his incredible power, forcing Vegeta to retreat a few meters. So at the moment, Cell would begin to laugh because a few drops of blood fell from Vegeta's lip. Apparently, it doesn't matter what power you have been able to get, you are nothing on my side. And let me tell you that this is not even 50% of all my power. I don't believe you at all. You are just bluffing. Vegeta Furious would swing again against Cell. However, this time, Cell was able to connect some excellent blows to Vegeta, which caused him incredible damage.
Each blow was strategically granted, since Vegeta's energy flow began to be affected. Cell, at the moment of a powerful hammer blow, was able to send him to the base of the planet again, generating a powerful destruction in his step. I've already said it. I want to fight Son Goku, since no one else will be able to do anything against me. Goku, at the moment of being about to climb to the platform, an incredible roar was able to make all those present retreat, while a great Osaru would form throughout the battlefield. That's right, the Prince of the Saiyans had been able to achieve the iconic transformation of the Super Saiyan Phase 4, with which at the moment of being in transition, it would be powerful enough to make everything around him tremble. From a great light that would rise throughout the battlefield, it was possible to observe Vegeta in a new transformation. Damn worm, you've been able to force me to use 100% of all my power. I was reserving that transformation for when I have to fight Kakarot. Vegeta has been able to achieve the transformation with which I was able to be born. Vegeta is an admirable warrior. No matter how much power you have, you won't be able to do nothing. Cell was not able to finish his sentence since Vegeta's fist was in his stomach. That's right, this time Cell was not able to observe anything at all. Cell had been sent to fly to a few mountains, causing him a surprising damage. Cell, at the moment of getting up, saw large amounts of blood spreading throughout the battlefield. Wow! But what am I seeing? Is the perfect warrior bleeding? I thought that being a stupid creation, you had no blood. You are well done. Damn monkey! At this very moment, I plan to crush you with my maximum power. Cell, at that precise moment, would release 100% of all his power since the occasion deserved it, because Vegeta's power in Super Saiyan 4 had exploded in a surprising way, while Goku would begin to observe much more relaxed. Cell's power is incredible, but Vegeta, being able to dominate 100% of his power, will be able to beat Cell. Even if he doesn't, Cell is not my opponent. I thought his power was much greater since the extortion of before left me surprised. Both launched into attack, so this time both left the defense aside, since each of them gave themselves blows that were able to destroy the planet Earth, but something cost in that place.
He was able to create a great barrier so that the planet is not affected in the least. While for his part, the blows of both were able to destroy several of his bones. But Vegeta began to have the advantage, so he was able to send him flying, destroying mountains around him. I have to congratulate you. You were able to force me to use 100% of all my power. But this time, I plan to end your miserable existence. Cell was on the ground trying to recover from that incredible blow. Vegeta, for his part, would begin to charge an incredible attack with which he had planned to eradicate Cell completely. Vegeta would instantly throw his attack. I have not thought to die without doing anything. This is my most powerful attack anyway. Cell would throw his incredible attack. Both attacks began to collide in an incredible way, but in Vegeta's face a big smile would appear, so he would take his body to the limit, expelling much more power, managing to completely disintegrate Cell. Ha ha! That damn green cockroach was not able to do anything against me. That's it, my father was able to defeat Cell. This time, with the power I possess, I will be able to defeat the androids of my time. After a few days, Trunks had returned to the future of which he belonged, while in the current timeline, several years had elapsed in which no danger had occurred for the Z Warriors, since this time even Majin Buu had not been a rival for the Warriors, since Goku was able to defeat them with great ease. But in a place far from all the 12 universes, the warrior who had been able to observe Goku with several years was prepared. It is time to absorb Goku and his other great power companions. That warrior would begin to move through all the 12 universes at great speed, but at the moment of entering Universe 7, he would stop quickly, realizing that the God of Destruction along with his angel were heading in the same way to planet Earth. Damn it, at the least indicated moment, the damned devil has awakened, and I'm sure he's heading to planet Earth to have a worthy battle. Returning to planet Earth, they were celebrating Bulma's birthday when the warriors were present. However, at the moment, the Kai of the North was able to communicate with Goku and Vegeta telepathically. Goku, Vegeta, the god of destruction Beerus is heading to your planet at great speed. For nothing in the world make him angry, since it does not matter the power you have, it will not be enough to defeat Beerus. Beerus? I feel I've heard that name somewhere else. But it doesn't matter who it is. Don't worry, since we are the most powerful Saiyans. Ha ha ha! Don't worry. Although if it's called the God of Destruction, I hope it is powerful since Majin Buu was not able to give me a worthy battle. I have years that I don't have the feeling of being cornered. No, you do not know what you are saying. Beerus's power is on another level. But at the moment, both deities had arrived at Bulma's house, so Vegeta looked like the subject was able to humiliate his father. But if you are, ha ha ha, apparently you still remember me. But it is surprising that you are able to remember me since when I humiliated your father, he was just a child. Go, Vegeta. I can see that you already know this subject, but what happens to you? Your looks seem like you have seen the same demon. No, Kakarot, now I understand why the Kaioken was terrified. The power of this warrior is incredible. We are not able to do anything against him. Ha ha ha, Vegeta, I think you are exaggerating everything, since it doesn't even seem to be powerful. He's all skinny, he has no muscles. What did you tell me? If you have the courage to repeat it, and believe me, I will not leave the bones of you, since I am able to powder you. Ha ha, I'm sorry if I have offended you, but better why don't you tell us what brings you here? Apparently, although you do not know my existence, what is your place? I tell you, Whis, my angel, I have been informed that you were able to defeat Frieza. You were even blessed with an incredible power since your birth. It is correct. I was able to defeat Frieza, and I was born with the power of the Super Saiyan 4, so my power since my birth is gigantic. I understand, but by chance, do you not know the Super Saiyan God? Super Saiyan God? No, I had never heard of that transformation. In that case, I want to have a battle with you, and if you are able to force me to use 25% of all my power, I promise not to destroy this planet. Ha ha! Only 25% of all your power. You are really underestimating me. Goku would pose for battle, but despite having his guard up, the god Beelzebub was able to tip him millions of blows which would begin to cause him incredible damage. So much so that in a few seconds, Goku had fallen to the ground very badly injured.
What the hell? Although I was on guard, I was not able to see anything. The power of that damn thing is amazing, but I have much more power. Goku would stand up while his body expelled too much blood. The damage you caused me was incredible, but what do you think of this? Goku would begin to expel all his power, with which this time he had been able to access the Golden Super Saiyan. The gaze of both would cross, so the incredible battle had begun. All the warriors of the party would realize that a great battle was being carried out, and it was not a training. Vegeta, do you know what is happening? Believe me, Bulma, I do not even know what will happen. But better quickly gather the Dragon Balls. We have to be able to know about the Super Saiyan God. But that was the prize for the winner of my birthday. Believe me that if we do not, it does not matter who is the winner of your birthday, we will all die here, since I'm sure Kakarot will not be able to beat him. Returning to the battle, Goku, despite using all his power, was not able to keep up with Beerus, which at every moment of the battle would begin to increase his power. But he had only released a total of 16% of all his power, with which he began to completely humiliate Goku. That's right, this time Goku was not even able to observe where all the blows came from, so Beerus would hold him by the neck. To be a mere mortal, you have incredible power, but you have not been able to force me to use the percentage that I have told you. Beerus, with a slight blow, was able to send him to the planet. With a big blow, Goku had lost his transformation, while his body was in terrible condition. Damn it, I have not been able to do anything to him. So that is the power of the God of Destruction? As I said, if they are not able to force me to use 25% of all my power, I will destroy the entire planet. The god Beerus would begin to channel some of his gigantic power to destroy the planet. However, at the moment, all the sky would darken. One moment, Mr. Beerus. At this moment, we will be able to bring the Super Saiyan God. Just give us a little time. That has caught my attention. I will give you a little time. At the moment of being invoked, Sharon was also surprised to learn of the presence of the god of destruction Beerus, so he would begin to explain how to invoke the Super Saiyan God, since the warrior as such had disappeared millions of years ago. That means that to invoke the Super Saiyan God, they require that 5 Saiyans grant the power to another Saiyan? It's time to do it. Gohan's wife is pregnant, so this can work. All the warriors would hold hands, so they had begun with the great ritual of the Super Saiyan God, Goku being the chosen one. That's right, at that moment the power of the 5 would begin to flow throughout his body, with which his power would begin to grow in a surprising way to the point of disappearing from the perception of mortals, since Goku had been able to access the state of the Super Saiyan God. That is the power of a god, so after all the waiting, it was worth it. Indeed, Mr. Beerus, that is the power of a Saiyan god. Goku would begin to expel all his power in his new state, leaving everyone surprised, but the incredible appearance he had, since his fur was silver, while an incredible pressure was felt all around him. The state of the Saiyan God had been a complete madness, because the essence that he was releasing would leave all the present deities surprised. So at the moment, even Beerus was forced to use 28% of all his power, which had already exceeded his limit. I can't believe the power you have been able to reach, that mortal. You have even been able to force me to use a lot more power and without having to fight. Wow, the power that runs through my body is amazing. So for this reason, the gods have absurd amounts of power. I feel that I am capable of defeating anyone. Apparently you were moved by the state of a god, but it will be better if you prepare yourself, since at this moment I will test your power. Mr. Beerus does not trust himself, since apparently the power of that Saiyan has risen in a surprising way, so much so that at this moment he is capable of defeating him. Don't be stupid, Whis. It's true that you have been able to get a surprising amount of power, but remember that I am the most powerful god among the 12. I can't lose to a mortal.
Beerus, like a flash, had swung against Goku, but to everyone's surprise, Goku was able to dodge it by staring at Beerus, so that with that movement, you were able to hit me a few moments ago. Ha! How interesting! At this moment, I was able to see everything completely. Goku, with a slight blow to Beerus' chest, was able to cause him incredible damage, so much so that it would make him fall to the ground, vomiting large amounts of blood all over the floor. What the hell? The blow you've been able to give me was incredible. The power and precision are from another world. Beerus would stand up, but his internal energy would look very out of control. Damn it, I have to control my internal energy, otherwise... Beerus was able to release a large amount of destructive energy through all his energy veins, so at the moment it was enough to control his energy flow again, because Goku's fist had been able to inject his energy of God Saiyan. I can tell you that you have great control over the new techniques of the gods, but I want to see what you can do against the true power of a god. Beerus would begin to channel much more power, with which he was even able to make Goku retreat a few meters. So at the moment, Beerus at great speed swung again against Goku. However, Goku this time was able to block his blow, so they both began to exchange thousands of blows all around. The battle of both would intensify to such an extent that they began fighting in the same way throughout Universe 7, destroying inhospitable planets. The destruction they caused in the other universes would be evident. I have to create a barrier so that Universe 6 and 8 do not spread. Whis, with the help of his baculus, was able to create a great barrier throughout Universe 7, so that intense battle continues at the same pace. Beerus at the time was able to connect an incredible blow to Goku's chin, sending him to a planet, destroying everything around him. But Beerus, being about to say something, Goku, with incredible speed, was able to return the blow, sending him in the same way to a planet, but the planet this time would completely be destroyed. The blow you have given me has been incredible, but I have not thought of surrendering, so at this very moment I plan to end this battle. Goku would expel much more power, with which in all his aura a great Osaru would form. That is, Goku's power had been so great that an incredible Osaru would form throughout Universe 7. This is the power of all my friends and my own power. I have not allowed myself to lose. Ouch! That blow has hurt me too much, but I have not thought of losing, since in the same way I am the most powerful god among all the gods. I will show you all my power.
Beerus would immediately begin to expel his true power, which left Whis surprised. Mr. Beerus thought he would use his transformation for the first time. Even none of the gods know the transformation of Mr. Beerus and will use it with a mortal. Beerus's power would begin to rise in an unreal way, so much so that it would cause the entire Universe 7 to begin to shake. Because Beerus's power was too great as a result of a great explosion of destructive energy, Beerus could be observed in his new form from which destructive energy radiated. I apologize for the delay. I'm just not used to using 100% of all my power. But are you ready? Goku at this time was not able to dodge the blow that Beerus was able to prop him in all his face. The blow contained an incredible power that the planet had completely destroyed in his step. Goku would be able to recover in one of the rubble, spitting too much blood while his veins of energy seemed to explode. I am no longer able to continue fighting with this power. I feel like my whole body begins to tear. This must be the price for using the power of a god. What happened? Is that all a god can offer a Saiyan? You are completely wrong. I can still hit you. The eyes of both warriors crossed when they launched into attack. Their battle was much more destructive, so Whis at the moment would even create a barrier for all the warriors on planet Earth who were affected by the simple pressure of the battle of both warriors, because the power of both was able to end their lives. I can't believe the power Kakarot has been able to reach. I also want to reach the power of the gods. This is a nightmare. I'm sure that subject should have used much more than 25% of all his power, since he must have finished the battle. I agree with you, madam, but apparently neither of them wants to give up, so only the battle will be decided when one of them falls. I don't know who will be the first to fall, since by Kakarot's expression, his body is about to collapse,
but I don't know the limit of Mr. Beerus. Just like the warrior named Goku, Mr. Beerus is at the limit since no one had ever forced him to use entirely 100% of his combat form. Damn it, I have to end that battle once and for all, since otherwise this bastard will be able to defeat me. In the next blow, I will use all my power. If I fail, it will be my defeat, but planet Earth will be free of danger since I have forced him to use much more power. At the moment, both launched with their maximum speeds, granting an incredible blow, which at the moment both fell to the planet to the brink of death since the last blow that both contained their maximum power. For his part, Susanoo, who was observing everything that happened, was surprised, since the power of Son Goku had exceeded all his expectations. I would have to do it right now, since my power is much greater than that of ordinary angels. Only Grand Priest is capable of defeating me, but if I am able to absorb both warriors, I'm sure that my power will grow in an incredible way. Whis would begin to heal Beerus, but with a great movement he was able to dodge a kick that if he had connected with him, he would have left him out of combat, while at the moment a surprising pressure would fall all over planet Earth. Damn it, at the worst moment a new enemy has appeared, but luckily I have one of the seeds that recover all of the energies. Vegeta was able to throw one of the seeds towards Goku, which despite being on the brink of death, was able to eat one, healing all his wounds completely, as well as obtaining an increase in power incredible, posing in front of that warrior. Who the hell are you? Why did you try to attack us when we were not even able to defend ourselves? You are a damn coward. It's a shame. I just wanted you not to go through the suffering of the beating I will give you, since if you are at 100% of all your power, I will have to beat you and then absorb you. Absorb me? Do you think I'll let you absorb me so easily? Don't be ridiculous, because if you want to end my life, you have to be prepared to die too. But without Goku being able to notice, the warrior with a much more overwhelming speed and strength than Beerus was able to hold him by the neck, neutralizing him completely against the ground. You do not have the required power to do anything against me, so you better be prepared to be part of me. But at that precise moment, Beerus in his combat form would throw an incredible blow, but the subject with his other hand was able to stop that incredible blow. You better wait your turn, since in the same way you will become part of my power, and not even your angel will be able to avoid it. Susanoo with a few movements was able to send Goku to fly to another planet, destroying mountains in his path, while he would begin to approach Beerus. What the hell are you doing? I can see that you are not an ordinary subject, but I will not be part of your power. Sooner or later, you will have to end my existence. Beerus would throw himself against the warrior, but this time, despite the fact that Beerus's power was completely restored, he had not been able to do anything against him, since his enemy was able to block each of his blows. Their powers were as distant as heaven and earth. Susanoo at the moment was able to invoke an energy giant that advanced against Beerus, and being a few centimeters away, several rays were able to catch his body completely. So at the moment the giant would create a great explosion, but before he was able to catch Beerus, Goku was able to hold him with his great speed, falling to one side of that gigantic explosion. Mr. Beerus is fine, but Goku would begin to vomit large amounts of blood all over the place. Damn insect, you had to do something so risky. You are almost capable of killing both, but I appreciate it, although I don't know how the hell we are going to be able to defeat him. At the moment, among the flames of that great explosion, Susanoo would begin to approach both warriors, while in his back, the same hell was able to represent, or rather the soul of thousands of warriors that were part of his power. This will be your new power, so it will be better if you begin to familiarize yourself. No, damn it! I do not intend to be part of your power. First, I will end your damned existence. Goku would swing against the warrior followed by Beerus, despite being the two most powerful warriors of Universe 7, and Beerus, the strongest god among the 12 gods, were not able to face that imposing warrior, which with just one of his arms, he was able to neutralize them completely, so he would immediately stop playing, taking both by the neck, crushing the mountains and rocks that were around him.
After a few moments, he would throw them, destroying everything around him. It is time. They are no longer able to move.
At this moment, you will become part of my power. Damn it. I have even lost the state of a Saiyan god. This will be our end. Demons. I never thought I would be defeated by a warrior who does not even exercise the title of a god. You are any being. At the moment, a great portal would form in front of them, with which their powers began to be poisoned. But at that moment, their last hope would appear on the battlefield. That's right, Whis was able to hit him on the face, sending him to fly. It's time to fight. I have to be able to end the life of this warrior. But Whis, you being an angel, you cannot get into the affairs of the gods. This is a special case, since I have been able to realize that the subject in front of us is Susanoo, one of the first celestial beings, but having ambitions of wanting to overthrow the king of everything he loves us, they were considered fallen celestials. Wow! Apparently you know something about my origin, but that will not save you from me ending your pathetic life. Here and now, so get ready, damn insect. It will be better if you do not trust yourself, since the divine kingdom has changed for millions of years, and at this time, you are not untouchable. At the moment, an angel and a fallen celestial began to exchange millions of blows throughout the battlefield. However, inside Goku, the power of the Super Saiyan God had been able to merge with Son Goku completely. So at the moment, a new power began to awaken in his body. Since being a prodigy, he was able to perform feats that no other warrior was able to achieve. Ouch! I feel like my body is burning. I even feel like my blood is pumping much faster. My heart, I feel like it's going to explode. That's right. Goku's internal system would begin to emanate a new power. For his part, the battle of both seemed to be very even. However, Susanoo would begin to increase his power, while Whis was already using 100% of all his power. So, during the battle, Susanoo would begin to take advantage. Susanoo, with a great blow, was able to send Whis flying, falling to the planet very badly injured. Damn it! I thought that after spending millions of years, I would be able to do something against him. Susanoo would begin to approach Whis with the intention of ending his life. But in all that place, a gigantic power would be perceived, even so much so that, this time, the barrier that Whis had placed had been completely destroyed, his power being perceived by all the gods and beings of the divine kingdom. Wow! Who has that incredible power? Goku's power would continue to grow in an incredible way, destroying everything in its path.